All right, everybody, welcome back to Muse. I am speaking with the lovely ladies from this wonderful show on AllBlk's channel. It is so nice to meet the both of you from Kold and Windy. How are you guys feeling knowing that season 2 is rolling out and that fans are obviously clearly loving it? How's everything been for you so far?
It's been good.
Great. It's been awesome. It's been
I've
good.
been
Thank you
loving.
for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Well, I just want to say, obviously, congratulations and job well done. I'd like to start. I mean, we go into projects all of the time and we never know, obviously, how they're going to be received or if there is going to be that call to bring you back on the set and to step into the
Right.
characters again. So whoever would like to go first, but talk to me. What was it like when you found out that you had that season 2 renewal opportunity? What was that like for you guys?
It was amazing for me personally because we found out during the strike. So I think that whole moment was just a shadow of darkness for a moment. It was a tough time, and nobody knew if they were going to come out of that situation with a job or without a job. So even though the strike wasn't over yet, we were already getting text messages that, a season 2 was looming. So it was like a bright light at the end of a dark tunnel to feel like, okay, when this strike is over, I have a job. I have a job to go back to.
Yes, I felt like I was excited, but then of course, like you hear about it and then it's like, okay, is it happening? Okay, we know it's happening, but I know for me, like I get really excited. So I'm like, okay, well, let me not get excited until like the offer comes through or some type of official paperwork. So for a minute, I was almost trying to like talk myself out of it. Not that it wouldn't happen, but just like, well, just wait. And then so when things really did start to roll, I was like ecstatic, still ecstatic. Like I was really happy.
Oh, I love that obviously the strike is what it was, it was necessary, but it was such a painful time for obviously everyone, really. So it's really nice to know that you guys had this opportunity kind of land and it's like, okay, once everything does get figured out, God willing, we'll be able to move forward. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really nice to be able to receive that news despite obviously the hard, difficult time of the strike. So congratulations again. That's really great. I love that. I'm curious to know what it's like to be a part of this series. Now, I didn't have the pleasure of speaking with you guys for season 1, but I just think you guys really have a very accurate portrayal, but also on your end, but then even with the writing team and from the creative aspect as well. What really draws me to this show is the idea of navigating the entertainment industry, the music industry specifically. What is it like for both of you being a part of a project that accurately highlights the trials and the tribulations of the balance and what can even be deemed as like some of the injustice that comes with being in the music industry? I know that that's a battle that's always ongoing, and I'm not a musician myself. I respect the industry so much. Talk to me about what that's like to kind of be in this series and continuing to kind of pioneer this conversation and hopefully open these doors.
You want to go?
I know for me, definitely don't have a musician background. No, when I was younger, I actually did want to be a singer, so I can hold a note, but like I just respect it too. Like I personally feel like the music industry is a little bit tougher than the acting industry, but I think I really like how in season 1, social media was eliminated. Like when Temper was our manager, she was like, gotta get your followers up, you gotta get this. I do like that now with music, people could make a difference on social media. Maybe they don't have to get a record deal that's actually gonna fuck them over towards the end. So it's like, it's good that like they can kind of like do their own thing. So it was very interesting to portray and show like our side of what it looks like of we're not singers and we're not rapping about our boyfriends. Like we doing drill rap, like and doing some of the stuff we're talking about as well. So it's like, oh wow, like that. And that is also something that's happening. Like that's something that's happening as well. So to see both sides of that, I think I liked it. It's pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've appreciated the honesty of the show, and I love that all the writers, the producers, they're from Chicago. So the show is already going to come with a level of authenticity that it wouldn't have if the writers were from everywhere. So being able to have people that can just really tell a true story about the Chicago experience. I have a friend who's from Chicago, and when she's watching the show, she's like, "No, this is real. This is really happening. You guys are spot on with the way you're portraying these ladies." So it's been amazing to see, like, okay, we're shining a light on drill rap, the violence, the gang violence, but also showing that behind all of these people that are in this circumstance, they also have real lives. They have mothers, they have fathers, they have best friends, they have children. So we're humanizing these ladies outside of just their careers of them being sexualized or being criminalized. They are also family members to people who really, really love them and want to see them do better and want to see them evolve and grow. So it helps to have a balance, because we're not just out there gang banging, or we're not just out there being rappers. We're also being best friends and being just family and people on a regular everyday basis. So the balance really helps.
I love that. You both of you gave very great answers. I really love the fact that you're getting the opportunity to kind of get that live real-time feedback as well. I think that that's a really big, and obviously to hear, that'd be horrible if the feedback was not like, hey, this is off, you know, to hear that it is in alignment and to hear that this story is getting told the way that it should as well. I think that that's super important. I love that you're able to have that feedback component as well. That's really great. I'm curious to ask you, what do you ladies think it is about this show that continues? I feel like you guys have such a very good, strong fan base, and that's something that I love to see whenever I speak to different cast members from different shows, or even, you know, if it's a film and it becomes a 2 and 3 and it's a sequel type of film. But you guys have such a great fan base. What do you think it is about this show that really keeps the fans coming back and wanting more, and hopefully even pushing towards hopefully a season 3? What is it that you think really they latch onto?
I think it's the relationships. I think it goes back to when I said just the fact that there's balance and there's also humor in the show. You have Kold, who wants this life of fame. She wants to be successful, but she also wants to be a great mother. She wants to be a wife. She wants it all. And most people want it all. And you see her actually trying to get it. She's a bit more serious. She takes life more serious. But then you have on the opposite side, you have Renee, who's fun. She's happy-go-lucky. She's the party animal. She's the one who has a joke for. She has the punchline all the time. So everybody knows someone like that. And then you have Gigi, who is the maternal figure. She's the one who's keeping them in line. She's the one who's pulling on the heartstrings and trying to make them do better. So I think people love the show because there's balance. It's not just two girls trying to act hard and going out there and gang banging. They are hard. They will pull out a gun in the grocery store. They will shoot you on the street. But then they'll go home with their boyfriend and be in love, and then they'll hug on their son and kiss him. So it's like, whoa, these girls are larger than life. They're not monolithic. They're not just one way or the other. Like, it's hard to put them in a box because you want to call them thugs, but then the next minute you're like, well, she's kind of sweet sometimes. It's like confusing.
Yeah, I think that we have layers, so it definitely helps because we aren't, like you said, all one thing. So I think it's interesting to watch on TV, and then you could just never get bored with it because of that. So there's always like something going on. It's a serious show that's going to make you laugh sometimes, it's going to make you cry sometimes. So I think it just keeps your attention in that way. Like, it doesn't feel monotone at all, because there are shows that sometimes it just feels like, what are we doing? Like, this is the same thing over and over again, but there's always something going on. And I think that realness, that rawness of seeing everyone's ugly side and pretty side is what keeps people watching. Because, like, when everything's going okay, that's boring, you know, like,
right.
That's when it gets interesting. And I think that's what keeps the fans like wanting more.
I love that. Well, like you mentioned, it's balance. I think that you guys really have a good handle on that in this series, in your portrayal of the characters. Again, going back to even the creative end, I think that that's really that's what it is. And I think that a lot of, especially from a viewer's point of view, I personally just like to watch life. Like, I love that there's layers and that there's the heartfelt moments, and it emulates life. It emulates the ebbs and flows. Like, sometimes I have really great days where I'm smiling from start to finish. Some days it's not that, you know? And so I love that you guys have such a good handle on that. And I really do. I think that between your portrayal of your characters and the understanding of that, and even like you mentioned with the feedback, I think you guys have the perfect recipe to virtually keep going, and I hope you continue to.
Thank you.
If you were to be renewed for a season 3, do you have any hopes or predictions for where you would like to see these characters kind of start off at the top of the season, or maybe even a synopsis of the journey that they would go on?
I would love to see Malika on a healing journey. I feel like this season it's been a sad season for her because she's grieving the loss of, so she's grieving a lot of loss. So I would love for season 3 for her to be on this journey of just finding herself with her son, having just being in a more positive space, whatever that means, whether that's with Wendy or without Wendy, just some peace. So, no offense, Nijah. I love you, Nijah, but Wendy is just wreaking havoc in Kold's life, and I think Kold just needs some space. She needs some healthy space, and then hopefully, if we get a season 4, they can come back together with some common sense. But I think season 3, Kold needs to be on like a journey just to find peace and figuring out what that means for herself personally.
Yeah, I would love to see Wendy get into something maybe new, like a positive outlet. Like, she can draw. So it'd be cool if she gets into selling drawings or gets into art. I definitely think she should take therapy. You know, I definitely think she should find a good therapist to release some of the things. I think that will help things go more her way, because she always wants things to go her way, but she gets in her own way so much. So it'd be nice if someone could like help her. But I just know if that was written in, it wouldn't be easy. She'd probably storm out on the first therapist, beat up the second therapist, and then maybe by the third one. Maybe by the third one we get some healing. But I
you know, when you said that, I thought about The Sopranos, how he has a therapist, but he's
yes. So,
oh my God, I'm crying. So we'll start off on BetterHelp.com. She can only slam the lid.
Yeah. There we go.
We're gonna start there, and then eventually she'll move into in person, and then all bets are off the table. But she's at least gonna fake a power outage and say, "Oh, connection lost."
All right.
I'd be like, Wendy's therapist is missing. Where is he?
Right. And then she'll be like, he disrespected me. Like, he had to go, because that's just how she is. Like, so.
You guys are too much. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for speaking with me. It's been such a pleasure, such an honor. Congratulations again. I'm really hoping that we get to talk for a season 3. You ladies are so wonderful.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
so much.
You're wonderful too.
Hey everyone, it's Hannah Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching that wonderful interview with the stars of Kold and Windy. And just as a reminder, a new episode of Kold and Windy is dropping every Thursday on AllBlk, and you can check it out on allblk.tv.